Hi there guys, Dan from GuitarLessonCentral.com here, and today I'm working with the guys from Riff Station to bring you some free videos. Now in this lesson we're going to look at how to play like David Gilmour, and there's some very signature sounds that we're going to start using. So I'm going to show you a lick and I'm going to give you a few ideas as to how to get started technique-wise on the road to playing like Mr. Gilmour. But it is just meant as a starting block, so absorb as much as you can and then take it on from there. So let's have a look at that lick first. Okay, so let's take you through this lick, and we're in the hands of Mr. David Gilmour, of course, and we're in the key of B minor here, / D major. Now, I wanted to mention / D major because I think it's quite important, because a lot of the stuff you hear in his Pink Floyd days and when he's playing over it, he's playing quite smart, you could say. So deliberately using arpeggio shapes and chord-based licks to kind of walk through a chord within a solo. Okay, so the opening couple of lines very much suggest D major, whereas the last couple suggest a bit more B minor. Okay, so the opening lick is this. And what's happening is, at first I'm taking a D major chord like that, okay, and just taking the top 3rd, 5th and root note and raking through them, and that's a little arpeggio, isn't it? But I'm just very much raking them for the moment, and then grabbing the major 3rd on the top of the chord, or the top of the arpeggio, you could say. So that is in frets the 11th, 10th, 10th, 14th. And rhythmically, you just rake through the first 3 and highlight this at the start of the bar. Okay? You're going to really hold that, do as much vibrato as you can for a little finger. And then take the D that's here then, there's a little kind of chord there you can see of D, and again do a little arpeggio through it. So I'm going to actually take the 15th fret, pull off to the 14, then go down to the 15th fret B string, and then back to the 14th fret G string. And you can see I've basically gone through that, but as single notes. And then I'm going to come back to this 15th fret and bend it up a full tone. Okay, so really for me that suggests D major, a D arpeggio there, and a D arpeggio there as well, ending in a nice Gilmour style bend. Now at that point we very much turn into B minor, which is the relative minor key, and do this lick. Now, a very cool little lick, if you don't mind me saying, and I'm actually kind of thinking pentatonics a little bit more now, so I'm sliding from my shape 1, 9th fret, into the 11th fret, into shape 2, shape 2 again, and I'm going to grab this note on the 12th fret and bend it up a tone and a half, which takes me, that's a tone and a half. Just about. You've got to really kind of learn how to pitch these bends. Sometimes it's better than others. So that's kind of how high it looks to do a tone and a half, but you've just got to get on the guitar and practice it. Okay? And the thing I love about this little lick is that as soon as I've done the tone and a half, I then stop it and do a tone, which I go up, down, and then pull off. Okay, so it's a really good test of pitch. Tone and a half, tone, pull off, and then I come back to the 12th fret root note before going a little higher up the pentatonic shape and going, which is 10th fret, 12th fret, little half bend, up, down, pull off, back to the root note. So altogether that minor bit so far is this. And then I'm just going to finish the lick by coming down to shape 1 and doing a quick little pull off that's going from the 10th fret to the 7th fret. Down the pentatonic shape, pick that again and pull off, and then hit the root note. Very flowing lines. So all together you've got the D major bits, then the minor, now, to tackle David Gilmour's style, like I suggested there, I do feel like you need to know your arpeggios, okay? So in the worksheet, what I've provided is the minor, a little kind of three-string minor arpeggio sequence that will help you kind of get started with just some ways to go through. Like kind of minor arpeggios, which you can do all over the fretboard. And I won't go into it now due to lack of time, but there's some stuff on the sheet. Now, combine those ideas with the pentatonics that are underneath. So, for example, if I had a pentatonic shape 3 up here in B minor, there's also a little kind of arpeggio, 3-string, underneath it, which is worth learning for the Gilmour, and equally worth knowing how it goes into your pentatonic shapes, okay? And eventually you want to do that with minor and major, but just start easy and gradually build it up. Now the other thing is those bends. He's notorious for overbending the string, okay? So this is where it's worth kind of knowing where your notes in the full scale are. So rather than bending up to this note, he's bending up to this note, which is a nice pentatonic note, so it really rings true when you hear it. So it's kind of getting used to doing the kind of full tone, tone and a half, even 2-tone bends if you can muster it. And of course that's just about training your fingers to really push through, and also training your ear to hear when you get to the right note.